Hey guys, I wanted to talk about some big news today in the UK music shop scene, really. So whether you're into guitars, bass, drums, electronic equipment, you might have been aware that GAK, the big musical retailer, guitar, amps and keyboards, recently went into administration. And it's been announced recently that Gear4Music has seen that gap really and bought all the stock, which is huge news. You know, if you're a musician in the UK, you're likely to have heard or bought stuff from GAK. I've bought plenty of stuff from GAK over the years. It would be the equivalent, if you're in America, of like Sweetwater buying Guitar Center. I know the scales aren't comparable because they're massive institutions, but it'd be like that happening out of the blue. Guitar Center just disappears and Sweetwater comes in. That's the American equivalent of what's happening here in the UK. And guys, yeah, we're going to be talking about some big music shops, but if you like music, guitars, riffs, just music things in general, follow the channel because I really love everyone's input. There's part of it where you could say this is business. You know, if a business isn't doing well, another business is going to see a gap in the market and claim it, really. Brutal, but it happens all the time. But a massive part for me is it sounds like this happened out the blue. A lot of the staff were left absolutely in the lurch, and that's where I feel, you know, if any of you staff are watching this, really feel for you guys, man, because that is brutal and a horrible way to find out you've not got a place to work. So, you know, I hope you guys find your feet soon, because yeah, horrible when these things happen. And I'm sure the guys at the top probably went away with a few quid. You know what I mean? A few quid in their pocket. So yeah, big thoughts going out to you guys. I wanted to kind of talk about some of the details into what Gear4Music are kind of doing now, which will be a bit later in the video. But I just want to say, you know, it's just mad how quickly these things happen. GAK is something that I've used for years and years. I've never actually bought a guitar from GAK, but definitely accessories, cases, you know, all the bits you need that comes with playing an instrument, really, or the additional bits is something that I've used over the years. And to be honest, Gear4Music, I've not really used them. I don't know if I have used them actually. So if you have used Gear4Music, let me know your experiences. And equally, guys, if you've got any thoughts on this acquisition, or if you notice things changing at GAK and could see it coming, or your experiences dealing with any of these retailers, just let me know in the comments. I want your thoughts. Love to hear different perspectives on this. Like I say, I'm just reading information that I'm seeing as it lands online, but other people are going to have definitely more insight than I do. So yeah, if you've got that insight, drop it in the comments, guys. I'd really appreciate that. So yeah, guys, let's just have a quick look at some of the details of this latest move by Gear4Music. So as a brief overview of this situation, it looks like GAK closed on March the 25th. Staff sounds like they were very confused. I found this article in the Argus, which is a local newspaper based in Brighton where GAK is situated. And it looks like staff were finally made redundant on April the 7th with little to no information really as to what was going on, which, you know, again, really feel for all people affected. And on April the 16th, Gear4Music announced it had purchased stock worth about 1.8 million, together with intangible assets including websites, trademarks and commercial data for 0.6 million. So a total of 2.4 million to buy out what was left of GAK, really. Now, interestingly, if you click on the GAK website, it takes you to Gear4Music with an information page as to what's happened during this situation. So it gives a brief overview of Gear4Music's takeover of GAK's stock. And it details that actually, if you've ordered with GAK, if you want to return an item, if you've got a GAK gift card, or if you've got some kind of warranty with a particular piece of equipment, it now states that all these things are void and any claims need to be managed via the insolvency company, which again is another downfall of situations like this. It causes a lot of issues, not just for the staff, but for the paying public as well. And importantly to note, Gear4Music isn't acquiring any part of GAK's trading business or assets or liabilities and has no plans to use the GAK trading name. So it sounds like that's it. GAK is gone forever. And yeah, it's a shame. Let me know your thoughts, guys. What do you feel about this situation? So yeah, there's some of the details online. Again, really sad to see some of the notes left on the front of GAK by some of the employees. You know, again, big respect to you guys because that's brutal, but interesting as well to see some of the comments. You know, you're one of the guys paying something off with GAK, are you going to get that money back? You know, and I hope everyone does. I hope everyone that's kind of financially invested with GAK prior to its closure and is paying stuff off manages to get that money back. Because again, these are all the complexities that go with something like this, and it's going to be interesting to see what Gear4Music do, or what, I don't know. I'm not business minded, I haven't got a clue. Let me know what you think is going to happen next. But it got me thinking as well, you know, so many people rely on these big massive retailers, and it just makes me think it's so vital to support your local music shops, because they haven't got millions of pounds behind them, and the benefit of your local shop, just the fact you can go in and create relationships with people in the shop, have conversations about, you know, really having a really personalized experience and not being pressured to buy. It just makes me think that is so vital to protect. It got me thinking as to, I know someone who wanted to buy a bass, didn't have all the money at the time for it, couldn't really afford consistent payments, and the shop was like, just pay us whatever, stick a few quid on it to hold it and pay us whenever. Now, are you going to get that at GAK, at Gear4Music, without some debt collector chasing you down the road if you don't hit the exact day every month? No. You know, that's just one example of the benefit of local relationships, really, your relationship building with those places. And it's so vital, isn't it? Absolutely, online is where it's at. I'm not a dinosaur that craves for, you know, pre-internet ages. This is where we're at, and the convenience and ease with which you can access and buy things now is unbelievable compared to back in the day. But I just think when I hear about these things, you know, the brutality of some of these businesses closing and the effect it has is just huge, isn't it, on so many levels. Yeah, that's why I'm always an advocate, if you can, if it's possible, if you're able to, support your local shops, guys, because once they're gone, you know, that's it, they're gone. That shop will then become a kebab shop or a charity shop. Do you know what I mean? It's gone. But yeah, I just want to share some interesting developments on the local UK guitar shop scene. Let me know your thoughts on the situation, if it affects you, or your thoughts on what this means for UK guitar sales. I mean, Gear4Music, it looks like they're quite a big company. They got shops in York, Germany, Sweden. They've obviously got a big presence, haven't they? So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens next. But yeah, it looks like GAK's gone. Cheers for all the stuff. And again, I hope all the guys that unfortunately lost their jobs managed to land on their feet. And yeah, all the best to you guys, man, because it's brutal. But yeah, big thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments. Massive thanks for watching, and take it easy.